Hi everybody, welcome back. This is Regal and this is the Invasion Angle from 2001. This is episode 7 and it's Monday Night Raw. This is the go-home show before Judgment Day. And we kick things off with William Regal promo, and he's talking about Chris Jericho, and he's apologising actually, and he says, I'm really sorry, I know I've interfered in your matches and I really regret it. I know it's something I shouldn't have done. And you know what, I think you deserve a rematch against the Big Show. You deserve to prove yourself. And he books a match for Judgment Day between Chris Jericho and The Big Show. That's a rating of 65. Then we go ringside, and it's Billy Gunn against Val Venus. This was just a match to get Billy Gunn on the card, really. Trying to do a little bit with him. He's not someone I'm going to push to the main event, but I think he's a solid mid-card. Let's sort of try to keep him somewhat relevant. And it's a rating of 55, with Billy Gunn getting the win in 9 minutes 4 seconds by submission. Raven then comes out to the ring, and he's got the microphone in hand, and he wants to talk to Kurt Angle. And he just says, look, it's not always about being technical. You know, fighting isn't always about your technical grapple moves and your submission holds. Sometimes pure brute force is all you need. Good old-fashioned fighting and hitting people with things. That's all you need. Rating of 64. And then Kurt Angle interrupts. And he says to Raven, why don't you prove it? Prove that's all you need. And William Regal comes out and he says, well, you know, we're lacking a little bit of... we're lacking some tag team action at the moment. So he books a 6-man tag team match tonight. The APA and Raven will take on Edge, Christian, and Kurt Angle. That's a rating of 68. Rhino then takes on Kane in a hardcore title match. And it's Rhino that gets the win in 65... Sorry, it's a 65 rating. He gets the win in 8 minutes 45. Kane didn't like losing this one. I had to protect him and keep him strong. But yeah, Rhino's someone I really want to push. I didn't want him to lose the title here, and I really just wanted to give him quite a big win. So yes, Rhino gets the victory here, keeps hold of his hardcore championship. X-Pac and Justin Credible are backstage, and X-Pac's just talking about, you know, I deserve a big match at the pay-per-view. I deserve to be in action at Judgment Day. You know, I think I could take on anyone in the world. And, you know, William Regal overhears this, and he says, do you think you can take on anyone? You want a big match at Judgment Day? Well, here you go then. At Judgment Day, you're going to take on The Undertaker. So a match there for Judgment Day, X-Pac versus The Undertaker. So a rating of 56. We then have a graphic on screen, advertising a couple of matches for Judgment Day. A couple of women's matches. Ivory will take on Lita, and Chyna will take on Trish as she defends her WWF Women's Championship. So a rating of 38. We then have a couple of women in action as Terry Powers takes on a Victoria, and it's Powers that gets the win in 6 minutes 28 by pinfall. That's a rating of 42. Struggling with the women's division, to be honest. I don't normally book women's divisions, and I wasn't watching wrestling at this time, and most of what I do know certainly isn't from the women's division. So I'm just trying to kind of tick it over. I'm sure eventually I might come up with a few ideas, but at the moment I'm just kind of trying to keep it relevant, trying to get a few matches here and there. Eddie Guerrero then comes out and he cuts a promo on Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit. They've both been talking about, all three of them have been talking about being the best technical wrestlers in the business. They haven't used the word wrestlers because, you know, Vince McMahon. But you know, the best sports entertainers, or the best fighters, the best athletes, and they are, you know, the most technical. And Eddie Guerrero, it's just a general promo, but he kind of makes a point of, you know, I might lie, cheat, and steal, but against you two, I don't need to do either of those things. I could just beat you with any hold you want me to put on you. That's an overall rating of 68. Another graphic on screen, Judgment Day. Steve Austin will take on Kane for the WWF World Championship. That's a rating of 69. We then have the 6-man tag that was booked earlier in the day as Raven with the APA take on Team Wreck, Edge, Christian, and Kurt Angle. And it's Team Wreck who get the win in 12 minutes 12 seconds when Kurt Angle forces Bradshaw to submit with an ankle lock. But, and it hasn't put it on here again, I don't know why, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, but Rhino did interfere. Rhino did attack Kurt Angle and, he did attack Bradshaw and effed up his ankle quite badly actually, which obviously helped Angle get that hold and get him to submit on that. Decent match actually, pleased with that one, 76. Hardcore Holly then talks to William Regal in his office and he wants a match at the pay-per-view. And Regal saying, well, again, kind of lacking a bit of tag team action, so let's go with another 6-man tag. You are going to team up with Edge and Christian and you're going to take on the APA and Chris Benoit. That's a rating of 55. Hardcore Holly is in action next as well, so Regal granted him a match tonight as well as he takes on Test. And it's Test that gets the win. Decent reaction but subpar wrestling. This was just to get Test a victory, get him on the card. We're kind of trying to use him. He's actually someone I'm interested in pushing. At the time, any wrestling I did sort of catch in this era, Test wasn't really on my radar. I didn't quite take to him. I think it was just the name. I mean, Test. I mean, looking back, it probably wasn't so bad. But I think at the time, I just thought, what kind of name is that? Which is harsh, really. You shouldn't just judge someone by their name. But again, I wasn't watching in this era. He may have been awesome for all I know. But I'm quite interested in pushing the guy. So that's what we're doing. But this one only gets a 57 for us. Post-match, Big Show comes out and he attacks Test. And it's Chris Jericho that comes out and makes the save. And then William Regal comes in and joins in. And it's a 4-way brawl. But Test and Jericho just about come out on top as Regal gets hurt pretty badly. And Big Show kind of realises it's 2 against 1. And he sort of retreats as well. Overall rating of 65. The Good Father and Bull Buchanan, right to censor, then cut a promo on the Hardy Boys. Haven't really put too much effort into this one. I don't really know what I'm going to do with right to censor. I'm not over interested in pushing them in any way, but this is kind of just a storyline to sort of, it was one of the storylines I wanted to sort of kick the series off with and just see where it goes. But it's just a promo against the Hardy Boys, overall rating of 48. In our main event, 2-man power trip defend the WWF Tag Team Championships against the Dudley Boys. And it's 2-man power trip who get the win in 16 minutes 29 when Steve Austin pinned Bubba Ray Dudley with a stunner following interference from Triple H's manager Stephanie McMahon. So that's a tag team title defense for Steve Austin and Triple H. They still hold all 4 major belts. Overall rating of 72, pretty decent. Post-match, they haven't finished. A 2-man power trip beat down the Dudley Boys, but then the Undertaker and Kane come out to make the save. I was going to say even things up, but of course it does actually mean 4 against 2, but the Dudleys are kind of out of it now. They've been beat to a pulp, and it's just, Undertaker and Kane come out just to make sure that it doesn't get even worse. Overall rating of 79. And it finishes with just Steve Austin and Kane staring down as they will face off at Judgment Day for Austin's WWF Heavyweight Championship. 69 rating. Overall then, 66. Losing popularity again. Losing quite a lot of popularity. Okay, still need to make some big improvements. Still got a lot to do. I'm going to get there. I might just need to kind of fast forward a couple of storylines and maybe just insert a couple of bigger ones. I mean, we're hoping to still make a couple of signings. We've got a couple of bigger stars sort of on their way back. So let's just see what happens there. Please give a like and subscribe if you're enjoying this series, and if you like this video, please comment below on anything you want. And remember, I'm now running 3 series. I've got this one, I've got my AWA Revival from 1991, and I've got my Local to Global in the UK, which started in 1992. We're up to about 1998 now, and we've just hit medium. So from 0, insignificant, and 0 everything, no money, no pop, no, nothing. We're now a medium company. Very proud of that one. So yeah, All that's left for me to say is the usual. Take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you all again soon. Goodbye.